Since we were here on Friday, have you all been able to reach any other agreements?
We have, Your Honor. And so let's try to do this in an orderly way. First thing is Exhibit 98. Their special master's report has been finalized and uploaded to Case Center. I believe that should be admissible by stipulation.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Exhibit 98.
We will additionally be filing a copy of that. Special Master Root now requested that we file it, so on the morning break, I'll get that electronically filed. I'm not sure whether it's a court filing or an exhibit, but in any event, here we are. Additionally, we spent quite a bit of time over the weekend trimming down the issues, and we have a lot of things to get into the record. So the first, perhaps the most efficient way of thinking about this is we've prepared for Your Honor a cheat sheet of the issues that I think you'll want to look at, and we've worked out the language. There's a few stipulations to avoid short witnesses, and it kind of gives a circular name, the exhibit number, description of what remains to be decided. So we can file this. I can hand it to you. I can email it to the court, whatever's easiest. We also have lists that we need to go through one more time to make sure we're on the same page of objections that we're withdrawing and that the real party interest is agreeing are valid objections. We don't need to hear from those witnesses. There's about 100 circular names in total, though, and that I don't think Your Honor wants me to read them into the record and spell them all. What would be the most efficient way of getting the information to you?
Well, first of all, why don't you send me a copy of that? Thank you. Any little print.
Yeah, it's terrible. I could email a copy if you want.
No, this is fine. Okay. So tell me what I'm looking at here.
So in the left-hand column, we have the name of the circulator.
Right.
And next to that, we have the exhibit number that corresponds to that circulator. The next few columns there, we've got, let's see, four columns just indicating the general area. Are we talking about the registration form being bad, the back of the petition sheets being bad, felony or capacity issue, and then the catch-all, just the other issues. Next two columns are whether this person testified. And for today's date, those are people we expect to testify. They obviously still have to show. Second to last column, these are facts that we've agreed to avoid testimony. So for example, Alvin Harrison, we've stipulated that he has a 2023 felony in Nevada State Court. We still have a legal argument on that one, but we don't need to hear from him just because it's, this is all we would get from him at trial. The final column is probably what's most useful for Your Honor. As I look at this really is extraordinarily small print. We can come up with a better way of printing this. I think it's too small. We'll get you another copy in hard copy and we can email it over. So here we list the issues for each circulator. So if we're looking at Ahmed Smith, the top one, and these are just in alphabetical order, there's two issues. The first is whether his permanent residential address in the form is accurate. And second, if it is accurate, whether the back of his petition sheets has an inaccurate address. Basically, it's two variations of the address issue. So for each of the circulators that Your Honor would have to decide, we've got a line in the spreadsheet. So we thought it would be easier than relying purely on your notes from the trial.
Okay.
So then we have objection withdrawals. There's probably about 50 names on that list. And then we've got stipulated invalid circulators. There's maybe 10 names on that list. Would you want us to file something, email it, read them into the record?
I don't want them read into the record. I think probably filing it is most convenient. If you can email it and you've stipulated to those withdrawals, I can attach it as an exhibit to my ruling.
That works. That's great. Okay. Given the timing of what we have planned for today, we'll have time to do that on breaks today. I'm confident.
Okay. Do you have a paper copy of that?
No, but we'll get it to you.
Okay.
That'll be simpler. So part of the,
Just
yes,
so I can clean up the record. The objection withdrawals, the parties have stipulated to those,
yes,
correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you will provide me with a copy of the withdrawals that I can attach as an exhibit to my ruling.
yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I just wanted all of that on the record. So, okay. In a little cleaner form.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. I think what we have planned for today is there's 12 witnesses we expect to show up. We have 9 for the morning. All of these are going to be about what Your Honor's seen, hopefully 10-minute witnesses. We've got 3 for the afternoon.
Okay.
Maybe one of the witnesses a little bit more than 10 minutes, but none of them are very time consuming. And then we have, 6 or 8 witnesses that have not yet given us a time, indicate their availability for trial. If they've received subpoenas, if they can't show, their signatures would be invalid. I understand the committee is still trying to get a hold of them, understandably. We'll have a question, which we don't need to deal with now, but at the end of the day, do we recess for tomorrow and give them another night to find them? Do we say they're unavailable? And I think Mr. Barton has something to say about that, but we can wait to the end of the day or take it up now.
Well, I'll just say that, Your Honor, the committee would like to have until tomorrow to try and get these handful of witnesses here. We understand the subpoena had today is Friday and today is the days. But the committee is eager to continue working today to try and get those other witnesses available tomorrow. So we would like to have that time if possible.
Okay. Ms. Hartman, do you have any position?
No position, Your Honor.
Okay.
And our view, Your Honor, is that if they show up today, that'd be great. But, we didn't take all of Friday. We won't take all of today. At some point, we need to sort of call it. We also, though, need to have a closing argument, probably. I don't know if Your Honor is expecting written or spoken closings. We'd be prepared to do that this afternoon if necessary, or we could do it tomorrow morning. But our preference is to wrap it up and give it to Your Honor for decision, rather than holding the record open overnight.
Okay. I'll decide that issue at the end of the day to see whether or not you're able to get those witnesses today. I mean, I don't need to decide it now if you get the witnesses today. So, and Mr. Barton, do you agree? No closing statements or no written closing statements? Because I believe Friday you were talking about written closing statements.
I would prefer a written closing statement. I think that we're going to have the data is mostly going to be taken care of through stipulation with these handful of things to decide. But I do think the court would benefit from a written closing statement that we could file perhaps tomorrow morning. And that still would give the court some time to issue a ruling. Frankly, we're going to have to figure out a way to deal with the county recorder's reports, which will not all be in by then anyway. So I think a written closing would be preferred.
And Ms. Hartman, do you have any update on any of those?
I'm afraid not, Your Honor. I checked again this morning. No new reports were filed over the weekend.
Okay.
We are hopeful that they're working hard and quickly.
Okay. Okay. There are some issues I would like you all to address. So I'm going to ask for written closing statements. And I will identify the issues I'd like you to address in those as we go along. There are some things I'd like to go over with you all, but maybe it would be better to do that once we've got some of the witnesses out of the way. Because I know we've got at least five people waiting at this time. Is that okay?
Great.
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor.
Okay. So which witness would you like first?
We could just do them
Maybe I
alphabetically.
should tell you who's in the lobby.
Eric Jones is in person. I don't know if you.
Oh, Mr. Jones is here in person, perhaps.
Oh, okay.
The plaintiffs would call Eric Jones. Your Honor.
Mr. Jones, can you come forward? I'm going to have you walk around over to this area, okay? And then before you have a seat, you're going to have a seat right there, but before you do, can you please tell me your full name? Jones?
Yeah.
Okay, and can you raise your right hand to be sworn in?
Sure.